everybody. This is my elevator speech for self-management strategies that we learned about in Module 4. Self-management strategies give students the tools that they need to learn how to manage themselves. They learn appropriate behaviors that replace the negative behaviors that they have been made aware of. And the strategies include goal setting, which we covered in an earlier module. The strategies cover self-monitoring, teaching students how to self-evaluate, self-instruction with self-statements. Like I gave an example here of self-statements that I worked on with my son for virtual learning while at home. I will be ready to work. I will show respect. I will behave myself, which he knows what that means when I say behave yourself. He knows what that means because we've talked about that a lot. And also he says I will not yell because yelling is a thing with Ian. At home, not so much at school, but at home. And with children with autism, behaviors are often very different at home than at school, and sometimes they're very different from school to home. So I will go on. And students also learn strategy instruction. Students still need to learn and to be taught the steps that are needed to be able to manage their own behavior. And I was reminded, or it just kept coming to me, the benefits of task analysis as I was reading through this module, because those steps are broken into chunks for specific tasks, and I think that would be perfect for behavior, self-management strategies as well. So that's why I thought of task analysis. And there are many benefits to self-management strategies. Students have more accountability. More of the accountability is placed on the student, which then leads to greater independence later on. The student becomes more self-aware because they might not have been aware that the negative behaviors are truly negative. They just know that they're getting attention when they have those outbursts. So they don't always know, necessarily that they're not acceptable. We have to teach them that. The self-management strategies also improve students' behavior and motivation grows. Like the more my son becomes aware, self-aware about behaviors that he has that are not acceptable, and the more he wants to self-correct, and then he feels good about himself because he's then able to do that. And I wanted to provide an example. One of Ian's biggest deals when he was a little guy, and even sometimes still today, is he gets super angry when he's playing games, not necessarily video games, but when he's playing games with friends or with us. And I was learning how to work on a functional behavioral assessment. So this was one of those strategies that we learned in that class. It was identifying the target behaviors. So for Ian, that was pretty easy because when playing Uno, he would get really angry when he wasn't winning the game. He would make a fist. He would show it to us, because he was mad. He would sometimes kick at us under the table, and he would sometimes ball up his fist and just hit the table when the game wasn't going his way, or he would just yell, no, really loud. And so this type of behavior made it very tough for him when playing games with others at school, when playing games with others at our church. So Ian was in a different class at our church, and I taught the young children, and he had moved on to the youth group. So the kids would come in after playing a game like Hangman or something, and everybody kind of had a hard time because Ian wasn't having fun playing, and so no one was really having fun playing. So we had to work on that, and this helped us to work on that. Um, we had to determine a cue. For Ian, it was Ian, remember your replacement behaviors. And he knew exactly what I was talking about anytime I said that to him. Now, we didn't at the time teach him how to record his own behaviors, but we will do that now. um, Looking back, I should have made maybe a checklist for him to keep track of when he was doing any of those target behaviors, with it, yes, I did it, or with a no, I was able to replace it. Um, and we also have to teach students how to self monitor. For this part, I would ask Ian, when we were determining the replacement behaviors, I asked him directly. I said, Ian, what would help you remember when you needed to use a replacement behavior, and what would help you to remember when to do that, to control those negative behaviors? And he had to become self-aware of what the negative behavior was. He had to learn what the target behavior was and when he was doing it. So we figured out those things, and then the intervention became the self-reinforcement. Um, Now he still remembers. It's been a couple of years now, I think. He remembers to say to himself, you win some, you lose some, and he'll just shrug it off. Or he'll say, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. And then he would just be calm. So it worked. And now we could play games together, and he could play games at church. Um, and everybody has a lot more fun. So I learned a lot from this module, and it reminded me of a lot of things that really work and things I look forward to using in the classroom with my future students. And that's what I have for you.